£102 million. That is how much the Treasury collected in lifetime ISA penalties last year alone, 129,000 savers. Fined. And here's the part that should make you angry. More people were penalised than actually used their LISA to buy a home. Just 87,000 managed to purchase. The system designed to help first-time buyers is now statistically more likely to punish you than reward you. In this video, we're going to break down exactly how the penalty works, why the 12-month maturation rule catches people out, where the London property cap makes the entire scheme useless, and the £1 fix that starts your clock today. Let's start with the rule that catches the most people. When you open a lifetime ISA, there is a 12-month maturation period before you can use the funds to buy a property. But, and this is critical, the clock does not start when you open the account. It starts when you make your first payment. Open your LISA in January, deposit nothing until March. Your clock didn't start until March. That means you need your first payment to land at least 12 months before your property purchase completes. Not exchanges, completes. And with the average conveyancing timeline running 12 to 16 weeks from offer accepted to completion, you actually need to think 15 to 16 months ahead. Here's a real scenario that traps people every year. You open your LISA in March 2026. You make your first payment immediately. Your maturation date is March 2027. But you find a property in November 2026 and the seller wants a quick completion. February 2027. You're 1 month short. The penalty kicks in. Now let's do the maths that the government doesn't put on the tin. You save £1,000. The government adds a 25% bonus, £250. Your pot is £1,250. Withdraw early. The 25% penalty is applied to the entire pot, not just the bonus, the entire pot. 25% of £1,250 is £312.50. You get back £937.50. You put in £1,000, you get back £937.50. That is a loss of £62.50 of your own money. A 6.25% hit on your savings. The government didn't just take back their bonus, they took 6.25% of yours. Now scale that up. Save £4,000 a year, the maximum, and the penalty costs you £250. Save for 3 years, £12,000 in. The penalty takes £750 of your own money. The average penalty last year was £790. And the 25 largest penalties averaged £13,500. And across the country, the Treasury collected £102 million in these penalties last year, up from £75 million the year before. That is a 36% increase in 1 year. Everything we've just covered assumes you can even use the LISA, because there's a second trap that makes the whole scheme pointless for a huge number of buyers. The lifetime ISA only works on properties up to £450,000. That cap has been frozen since 2017, 8 years without a single adjustment. If the cap had risen with inflation, it would sit at approximately £575,000 today. But it hasn't moved. Meanwhile, the average UK house price is £271,000, comfortably under the cap. But if you're buying in London, the average first-time buyer property is £471,000. That is £21,000 over the limit. So if you're a first-time buyer in London, and 26% of all LISA holders live in London or the South East, your LISA cannot be used for the average property. You either find something under the cap, or you withdraw and lose 6.25% of your own savings. House prices in London have actually softened slightly. The average flat has fallen 10% from its 2022 peak to £427,700. But that's still a flat. If you want a house, you're well over. The industry has been calling for reform. Martin Lewis has pushed for either raising the cap to somewhere in the 500s or scrapping the penalty entirely when buying above the limit. A government consultation on replacing the LISA is expected this year. But until that happens, the rules are the rules, and the 450 cap stands. So what do you actually do? The fix is dead simple, and it costs you £1. Open a leaser today, deposit £1. Even a single pound starts the 12-month maturation clock. You don't have to commit $4,000 a year. You don't need to know when you're buying. Just start the clock. If you end up buying under 450k, you get the 25% bonus on everything you've saved. If you end up buying over, you've only lost 6.25% on a single pound. 6 pence. That's the worst case. And if the government does raise the cap or reform the penalty before you buy, you're already in the system. If you're between 18 and 39, you are eligible right now. We've written the complete 2026 guide covering every penalty scenario, every edge case, the best leaser rates on the market, and a step-by-step timeline for when to open yours. It's free, and it's linked in the description below and in the pinned comment. Don't get trapped. Open your leaser today, and we'll see you in the next one.